Hey everybody, Smart Silver Stacker here. In this video, we're going to talk about platinum. And platinum is interesting for stackers because while it is a precious metal, there are some very notable differences between platinum and gold and silver. And those differences are important when considering platinum from an investment standpoint. I will say right off the bat, nothing in this video should be considered investment advice. I'm just going to share with you some information about this metal. We'll be talking about its history and why it is different from gold and silver, also some of the uses that platinum has. And then in the second half of the video, we're going to take a look at some of the recent developments in the platinum market and also some charts that relate to the value of platinum relative to the other precious metals and relative to other assets, and also some numbers that relate to the quantity of platinum that is available relative to gold and silver. And that data, I think, does paint a picture that shows that platinum is quite different from the other precious metals as an investment, and it has a lot going for it, but it also may be a little bit riskier. So to start off, platinum is one of the platinum group metals, and that group consists of 6 metals: ruthenium, rhodium, palladium, osmium, iridium, and platinum. And platinum is the most abundant of the platinum group metals. Typically when it's found in ore, it can be found by itself, but a lot of times it is mixed with some of those other platinum group metals. One of the arguments against stacking platinum that I have heard from some folks in the precious metal community, such as Mike Maloney, is that platinum doesn't have the monetary history that gold and silver have. It hasn't been used as money for thousands of years, and that is true. However, that doesn't completely dissuade me from stacking this metal. As you can see here, I've got a 1-ounce platinum eagle right here in my hand, and I think it's kind of an unfair comparison because while platinum hasn't been used as money the way gold and silver have for thousands of years, gold and silver were first used back by the Lydians in the 6th century BC, platinum was only first discovered in the 18th century. And the first mention we see of platinum in the historical record is from the papers of a Spaniard by the name of Antonio de Aloa, who was working in the Colombian gold mines back in 1736, and he wrote of an unworkable metal that was discovered alongside the gold ore. It had a silvery appearance. Now the word for silver in Spanish is plata, and so he referred to this as platino, or little silver. And the miners in Colombia actually would just discard this stuff when they would find it. They would throw the platinum ore into the river because they couldn't figure out how to work it or extract it. And that is one of the major differences between platinum and the other precious metals is it's much more difficult to extract. There is some kind of a complex chemical extraction process that has to be conducted in order to get platinum into an isolated elemental form like what you have in this coin here. They didn't figure that out actually until the early 19th century when an English chemist figured out the process needed to extract platinum. And so for that reason, we never saw the extensive history of platinum as a currency or as a money the way we did gold and silver. Now, platinum does kind of check all the boxes. You know, it's fungible, it's durable, all the things that make gold and silver useful as money. Platinum has all of those characteristics. It's very scarce. I mean, even more scarce than gold and silver. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that later. Right here in my hand, I have a platinum coin, of course, made by the US Mint, so it does have some history as money, although it's not like I'm going to go out and spend this for its, $100 face value. No, I paid about $1,100, just under $1,100 for this coin, so that face value is, of course, just of token value. Interestingly, you know, the Treasury, this is sort of just a digression, but they were talking about minting a $1 trillion coin, I think it was, recently in order to pay off the debt or cover the deficit or some ridiculous scheme like that. And it was going to be made out of platinum. So if this had a $1 trillion face value, maybe I'd spend it, but not for $100. Now, as far as the physical characteristics of platinum, it is both harder and denser than either gold or silver. One thing that's very notable, although I do have this coin in a 32 millimeter capsule, which is the same size capsule you would put a gold eagle in, this coin is actually a little bit thinner than a 1-ounce gold eagle. So they're the same diameter, but this one is a little bit less thick because of that increased density of platinum. And also, you know, gold is a very soft metal. If you have a gold coin or gold jewelry, it will scratch very easily, whereas with platinum, it is a different story. The metal is very hard. In fact, they use it in fountain pen nibs in very, very small quantities because of that hardness. It makes the nibs not wear out. But of course, fountain pen nibs, not the only use for platinum. Really, the most useful characteristic of platinum is that it serves as a catalyst. So it's used extensively in the chemical manufacturing industry, and a catalyst is a material that will speed up chemical processes when it's present. So certain chemical reactions, they move along faster in the presence of platinum, so that makes it very useful for a number of manufacturing processes. And also it's used in catalytic converters on vehicles, which reduce the emissions from internal combustion engines, either gasoline or diesel. And let's talk a little bit more about that. So the use of platinum as a catalytic converter may actually be increasing. We got this headline from Reuters on May 15th. Russia risks speed up automakers switch from palladium to platinum. And that's from the WPIC, that's the World Platinum Investment Council. And the gist of this story is that palladium, which is another of the platinum group metals, and it has some similar properties in the sense that it's also used as a catalyst, a lot of palladium comes from Russia. And following the Russian invasion of Ukraine, we saw palladium prices spike up to new all-time highs. And although the price for palladium has come back down a little bit, it's still a lot more expensive than platinum. And we're going to talk a little bit more about those prices in just a minute and the price of platinum and why it's kind of low compared to other metals. But as a result of that, what we're seeing is that automakers may begin to transition to using more platinum as it's still affordable, whereas palladium has spiked up. So to reduce their costs, they're going to switch over to platinum. And of course, that will lead to higher demand for platinum and possibly also higher prices. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some of the information regarding the price of platinum. But first, I do just want to say a big thank you to today's video sponsor, Silver Botanicals, household and personal hygiene products that utilize the power of nano silver. You can check out all their products over at silverbotanicals.com. There's a link down in the description, and don't forget to use coupon code STACKER to save 10% off your order. So the first chart I want to take a look at is this chart of the platinum to gold ratio. And so essentially what this chart is, it tells you how many ounces of gold it would take to purchase 1 ounce of platinum. So this is sort of the price of platinum in gold. And you can see that back in 2008, this ratio spiked up to over 2, up over 2.25 actually, where it would have taken you 2.25 ounces of gold to buy 1 ounce of platinum. And at that time, the price of platinum was over $2,000. But you can see that since then, we have seen this big decrease in this ratio to the point that today it takes you about half an ounce of gold to buy 1 ounce of platinum. So the lower this chart goes, the cheaper platinum is relative to gold, and it is at a near all-time low right now. So that is definitely an indicator that platinum is cheap, platinum is undervalued, platinum could move much higher. Now, let's also take a look at this chart of the platinum to silver ratio. Now, I know we take a look at the gold-silver ratio quite a bit on this channel, and right now I believe that silver is significantly undervalued to gold, and that's why I'm the smart silver stacker and why I've been stacking primarily silver, although I like gold too. But here on this chart, you can see that back in 2003, this was the peak of the platinum to silver ratio. It would have cost you almost 150 ounces of silver to buy 1 ounce of platinum at that time. However, today, the ratio has collapsed down to about 44, so less than a third of the price of platinum in silver, when you're pricing it in silver. Today, you can go out and you can buy 1 ounce of platinum for about 44 ounces of silver. Now, this is all paper prices, I know, and premiums are high, but premiums are high across the board. So, this chart is still meaningful, especially with a move that big. Now, I believe silver is extremely undervalued relative to gold, but according to this chart, platinum is extremely undervalued relative to silver. So that really shows you just how cheap platinum is at today's levels. Now, the next thing I want to draw your attention to is the metal depository statistics from the CME group, how much gold the CME is holding in troy ounces. And if we scroll down to the bottom, we can see that the combined total gold held by the CME group, about 35.5 million ounces. Now, we'll take a look at the same data for silver, and if we scroll to the bottom, we see the CME has got about 337 million troy ounces of silver, so about 10 times more silver than gold, roughly. Now that's interesting, of course, because the gold to silver ratio is about 88, and yet they only have about 10 times the amount of physical silver, so I think that shows you that something's up. Now let's take a look at the data for platinum. If we scroll down to the bottom of this spreadsheet, we can see that the total amount of platinum held by the CME group, 330,000 ounces. So they've got about 1,000 times more silver than they have platinum, and about 100 times more gold than they have platinum. Because the supply of platinum is so much smaller than that of gold or silver, it's going to take a lot less to move the needle on the price. And that is why I view platinum as somewhat riskier than gold and silver, because it does lack that monetary history. You know, it's kind of an oddball metal. Not as many people hold it, but it has the potential to move a lot more than either of those metals. So I think that to the extent that you're looking for a bit more of a speculative play in precious metals, platinum might be something worth taking a look at. Now, this isn't just me theorizing. We have actually seen this happen in some of the other metals. We can take a look at this 5-year chart for palladium, and you can see that back in 2017, the price of palladium was about $750. Well, after the Russians invaded Ukraine and there was all this concern about a supply crunch, you can see the price spiked up to over $3,000. So that's a huge move in a 5-year time span, and it has come down a little bit since then, but still around $2,000. So there is definitely the potential for these scarce platinum group metals to have significant price movement. And it also kind of shows you that if you do see a big spike up like that, you probably want to go ahead and maybe sell or liquidate some of your holdings, because they tend to come back down in price. And it was the same story with rhodium, just in an even bigger way. So this is the 5-year chart for rhodium. And if you go back to 2017, you can see that this platinum group metal was trading at around $850 an ounce. And then in 2021, we had a spike up to $27,000. So almost hitting the $30,000 level. And you can see same trend here. After it spiked up, it had a brief period there at the top, and then it did come back down in a pretty significant way. Now, it's still a lot more valuable than it was back in 2017, but it's also come down significantly off the highs. So I think that the lesson here is that if you're stacking platinum, you got to be prepared to move on it if it does have a big spike up. And, you know, I don't know what could cause a big spike up. Most of the platinum in the world is produced in South Africa, so if there's some kind of geopolitical instability or problem in South Africa, I suppose that could be one potential cause for a spike up in platinum. But I'm sure there's other black swan events that could cause a market with such tight supply to squeeze and to see a big increase in price. And the price action in palladium and rhodium kind of bears that out. And there's also the possibility that the elevated prices in the other platinum group metals could cause the price of platinum to move up as a result, as industrial users of metals transition more to platinum, because there is some interchangeability between these platinum group metals and their uses in industry. So a spike up in one metal typically is going to mean that the other cheaper metal becomes more desirable. And so all of that is why I feel that platinum does have a place in my stack. It might not be for everybody. I do think that it is riskier and more speculative than gold and silver. However, along with that risk, I think that there is a significant potential for a higher payoff as well. And also, platinum is kind of a nice way to round out a precious metals portfolio. It's certainly my smallest holding as far as all the metals go. In fact, this 1-ounce platinum eagle is the first platinum bullion that I have purchased and added to my stack. Although I may be adding some more as time moves along here, assuming the price stays as low as it is and platinum remains as cheap relative to the other metals. It almost seems like a deal that is too good to pass up. And for my first platinum bullion investment, I did choose this 1-ounce eagle. As far as subsequent purchases, I would probably go for the 1-ounce generic bars available from a number of reputable mints, because the premiums are a little bit lower. I just felt that for my first piece of platinum, I would like to get something a little nicer to look at. That's why I went with the eagle, and it certainly is a nice coin. Very beautiful design. You got the eagle on the back and Lady Liberty on the front. But if you just want to get the most platinum for your money, probably better to stick with 1-ounce platinum bars. So I hope that you found this video helpful. I hope that this is some information maybe you hadn't come across before, or a different way of looking at some of the numbers. And if you're stacking platinum, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think of platinum compared to gold and silver as far as an investment and as far as part of your stack. And I do just want to say a big thank you to everybody who tuned in today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, everybody. I'll catch you next time. Smart Silver Stacker, out.